Hello, everyone. I'm just checking my microphone. How are you doing? It is Thursday. Excuse me. It's Thursday morning, and I wanted to do a Let's Chat today. Tomorrow I will be continuing the story. I'll be uploading tomorrow. How are you? How are you doing? I hope you're doing as well as you can. I'm doing better. I was having a rough time yesterday. It was so heavy. I still feel the heaviness, actually, but I don't feel as bogged down because I got some real sleep. The Tuesday into Wednesday, I did not get any sleep. I went to bed like 3 in the morning. First of all, I just felt very, Tuesday, I felt like a chicken with my head cut off. I was vibrating with this sort of energy that didn't feel good. Like I felt like my body was vibrating. I wanted to just, I needed like silence. I didn't even want to do any sessions. That's how intense it was for me. I just was like, I just need to, I just need something. I need to not talk to anyone. That's how I felt Tuesday. And I knew it wasn't my energy. I felt zapped of energy and I didn't want to hear words. I didn't feel like I was in a space to hold a space for anyone else. So I did have, I was able to move some sessions to Wednesday, which was good for me. I only ended up having one session Tuesday, which I needed to have. So I was able to, hold the space for at least one person. And I needed, after I did that, I did feel, actually, it felt, the being able to hold that space, I was able to be in my energy, helping this person. Okay. But I only had the space for the one Tuesday. And Tuesday and Wednesday, like I said, I went to bed at like 3 a.m. And I don't know, it was like I couldn't rest. And I kept saying Tuesday, I need to rest, but I kept doing things. And so, my mind just went blank. Well, today's Thursday. When did I upload? Was it Monday or Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday I uploaded. Yeah, I uploaded Tuesday. Yeah, I uploaded Tuesday. See, the week is, the days are crazy. The time is crazy for me right now. Monday was Monday, and I uploaded Tuesday. Let me check, because I don't know what's going on with my brain and what's the time. Let me see. Yeah, Tuesday I uploaded. Tuesday early, yeah, because I had the session in the afternoon, in the late afternoon. But yeah, I remember I was like, I just wanna upload, and I think after that, I think I was just zapped. But before I even did the upload, I was like, I need to be by myself. But anyway, Tuesday into Wednesday I couldn't sleep. And I remembered I had to drive my niece to her class. And that class was like 8:30 in the morning. I was like, oh Lord, I'm not gonna go get any rest. So I got like 4 hours of not very restful sleep. It was terrible. And so yesterday I woke up and I just felt obviously exhausted, and I drove drove my niece to her class, and I was coming back home. I just was like, I felt this energy of nervousness that wasn't mine. And I was like, I don't like this. I said out loud to myself. And I felt like an anticipation of something happening. I felt like a sudden doom happened, in the energy, like I was going to get into an accident. It felt like, and that whole day, I felt like that. And when I got home, I was like, let me just take a nap. And I barely did that. And maybe for like a half an hour, I was so still not, I didn't have sessions until the evening time, but I was fine because, it wasn't anything, those clients weren't particularly intense. So I was okay to hold that space. And so I've been distracted outside of that. Just like my energy feels very scattered, as though like I'm subconsciously trying to, my empathy and my intuition, like is subconsciously trying to, calm everyone. And it's stretching me, it feels like. And so, like yesterday, I just was just like, I'm exhausted. Like I can't even think of touching a card. I did do, people are still requesting personal readings. So I've noticed like even one reading I was doing, it was taking me days. More, I take my time. If you requested a reading from me, because I have a lot of things going on. So I finally got one done, and it's just taking, so you guys, if you requested a reading from me, it's taking a little bit longer than, I feel good today. So I think I'll be able to get through some, but I'm pulling. It's just that I feel the energy is just heavy for me. Okay. So it's taking me to move a little bit. I didn't want to touch any tools and that sort of thing. But this morning when I woke up, I had 8 hours of sleep, just about. It wasn't interrupted. I fell asleep around a little after 12, which is like my usual bedtime, 12:01, that sort of thing. Because, I wake up, lately, since all this happened, I've been waking up pretty early, and now my body's used to it. Around 8:39. That's early for me, guys. Okay. 8:39, which is pretty, a good time for me. But I feel okay today. I asked my guides. Actually, before I went to bed, like I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel terrible. And right before I was going to bed. And I put on this on YouTube. I put on this channel that has pure angelic tones, and one I put on was support, and I started to feel better listening to that sound as I fell asleep. So I woke up this morning and I'm like, okay, I feel rested. I still feel a little bit heavy on my shoulders, like I still feel a little tired, but nothing like yesterday. And I asked my guy. My guys were quiet yesterday. Like I could feel them. I could feel their presence. Whenever I'm going through something and I say like, I just need quiet. I need space. Like that's what I felt like. I can see them watching me. I could feel their presence, and I could see them sort of looking at me quietly. And they respected that. I felt my ears ringing a little bit. I felt my ears ringing a little bit yesterday, but I didn't tune into it because I needed space. And they were quiet. They were just like, okay, we will give you your space. We'll be quiet. And I could feel them sort of hovering over me, but just sort of like respecting my boundaries. And so this morning I woke up and I greeted them, and they greeted me back, and I said, what am I talking about today? I already had some ideas, and they said, what do you plan to talk about? And they told me, they was like, you have to cleanse your tools. So I did that. I got some new decks. I ordered some things from Temu, which took a long time. I usually don't, I'm very suspicious of Temu for some reason. I don't know. People keep telling me, but anyway, I got some new decks, which I'm excited about. I got my True Crime deck that I'll be using tomorrow. But I did my cleansing. I cleansed my space. I cleansed my camera. I cleansed everything. There's heavy old energy on it, and my guides told me you have to move that energy out so new energy could keep coming in. That's what I did. So today I want to talk about a few things that, election talk. I want to talk about how we could cope with all of this. I want to talk about, I wrote it down. A spiritual awakening I want to talk about with you guys. I know a lot of you are experiencing that. The world is experiencing it. That's a mass awakening that is happening. And it's painful. Okay, so I want to talk about that. And I'll pull some cards for you guys, okay? So, let's get into it. I was chatting with, when I was in a session, and, everyone's upset. Everyone's frustrated. Everyone's nervous and scared and wondering what's going to happen. And I just don't feel any of those things. I feel angry. I do. But it's not like before. It's like, I don't know what happened, that this anger I was feeling while this situation was going on, and I would have those outbursts where I talk to myself, and my guides would just look at me, and then they told me, like, you have to temper your anger, it's blocking you. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a if you guys are wondering what this is a selenite gem, selenite crystal. Okay, and it has a geometric shape on it, and for extra protection. Okay. But anyway, I just feel like I feel the energy in everyone. And I'm sort of looking at everyone's response and reaction to everything. And one of the things I heard was, as I'm looking at and I'm listening to people, we learned this when he was in the last time. We experienced this. He hasn't changed. He doesn't have more power. It seems like that, but I'm being told no. It doesn't move me for some reason. I'm not watching anything because I was told you don't need to. You don't have to obsess. You don't have to react. And I understand why people react. And I understand, I'm well aware that there are many vulnerable people who will be the target of this person, this government. And I'm well aware of those things. And even, oh, you hear me? The sirens just went off as I'm talking about this. I'm well aware of that. Within the work that I do, I'm not ignoring that. I'm not telling anyone to ignore it. I'm not saying that it's not important. When I say but the reality is that even when Biden was president, vulnerable people were still targets and still vulnerable. Sure, we had more protection. But we have protections now. And I get everyone's very reactionary to everything. Oh my goodness, he'd signed all these. He could sign a million of those executive orders. What I remember, I was knee deep in that presidency from 2016 to 2020. So I watched everything, and he was stopped a lot of times through the courts because of who Obama put in the courts. And my guide said to me, remember, they reminded me of when I remember watching, someone's TV is so loud. It's annoying me. I remember watching a news report on, was it YouTube or C-SPAN? No, I was reading an article, and my guys reminded me of that. The Republicans were so angry at Biden because they were like, oh, he lied about, that's all they would talk about before, stacking the courts. And, he's like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. He put 235 people, judges in the court, and they were like, that's a lot. He eclipsed Trump's, how many people he put. He's one of the presidents, Biden, one of the presidents after Carter, I believe, who put the most judges in court. And he did more than Trump. Okay, so he put in 235 judges, including one justice of the Supreme Court. We know who that is. 45 judges for the United States Courts of Appeals, 187 judges for the United States District Courts, and 2 judges for the United States Courts of International Trade. Okay. That's a lot, according to what I've been reading. That's a lot. I think Carter put in 262 or something like that. I could be wrong. But, my guides showed me that, they're holding me in the space of my spirituality, intuition, and my logic. And they're telling me you need to use both. Critical thinking, you have to use both. And that's what they are guiding me to do. So this is why I feel angry because, yes. And I get people's anger. Anger is a very powerful emotion. It helps us feel in control. It's not a bad emotion. And at the same time, sometimes it can blind us to coming up with solutions or thinking straight. And so when I say you have to eventually move out of that space, we do. You have to use your anger in a way that is helpful. Okay. And so, I was speaking and I said that in my session. He put in a lot of judges. We're not alone, guys. Outside of the reading that I did with The Story Continues, that there are things put in place. Outside of that, we're not alone. We're not abandoned. One, I understand now that we have to help ourselves too. We have a responsibility. We do. Even though we're government and they do make rules, but also we have to stand up for ourselves and we have to help ourselves. And as a social worker, I was talking to, and I was giving advice on what could be done, resources, finding resources. There's so many resources out there. I'm going to post on the community tab, mental health resources, advocacy group resources, human rights resources. There's so much nationally. We're not alone, guys. And I particularly remember when T put in the Muslim ban and all that stuff was happening, and there was so many human rights lawyers and advocacy groups stepping up to the plate and helping these people, and courts intervening. And that's what my guides are showing me now, that's even though this is temporary, they're telling me there's help. We're not completely alone in this, and it's a matter of looking and searching. And if you feel like you're so angry, and you could use that anger to stand up, and use that anger to um, build a support group, or talk to your local government, or um, you know search advocacy groups, something that you could feel like you are doing something, and letting your anger transform you into something else, other than falling into despair, or laying on the ground and crying, and hooping and hollering. This is the images that I'm being shown, and this the energy that I'm feeling. We can't do that for long. It is not going to help us, and you're feeding this. It's feeding the negativity, that the confusion, the things that they want for us. These people that don't have any self-awareness or insight into anything, which is why they'll fall apart. But it's not the same situation. It's not settled. There's power in people. And the way that we can keep that power is by standing up and not falling to our knees. Okay? And so that's one way to cope. How you can cope. If you feel like psychologically, emotionally, you're on the edge, I encourage you to talk to a licensed professional. If you feel like you have nowhere to turn to. I know I saw comments as I'm doing this work. I see comments like, my family is, they're Trump supporters. Or even you even live with some of them and it's really hard. My answer to that is to put up boundaries. Think about what boundaries you want to put up for yourself, for your emotional wellness. If you can, if it's realistic, plan on an exit strategy if you live with them and it's just too much. Or you could, I think what's most important is the boundaries, and really finding like-minded people that you could lean on and that you could find support in to cope. I don't want to give them energy, and I also kind of want to hold a space of compassion. There are a lot of people who turned their backs on him, who woke up and saw, like, yeah, this is, for whatever reason, there's a psychology to Trump supporters. A lot of them are, well, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but I want to focus on you coping. Find like-minded people, find a support group, find supports. See what's in your state and your town, that you could, or online, that you could find support where you are not feeling so alone and isolated in a family that is, supporting that they don't know they don't know what's coming for them if they, it's just temporary though. But in the meantime, we have emotions and we have to deal with them. Okay. If you feel like you are in a really, really, really dark space emotionally, where you are having thoughts of wanting to harm yourself, or you are having, thoughts of not wanting to be here, I encourage you to go to your emergency room. Because that is very serious. Mental health is, there's also a lot, I'll post on the community tab, there are hotlines. The Biden administration did a lot for them. One of the things I had criticized, I was criticizing a lot of administrations about, is the mental health aspect of our country and how we're in a crisis. We are. There are a lot of people walking around without resources, without help, and it's so difficult to get, and the resources are slim. And the Biden administration put a lot of money into a lot of funding into mental health for our country. And so there are a lot of new programs that, hotlines, mental health hotlines for help, and they've implemented that last year, and I was so happy. I was like, finally, something, at least progress is slow. So I'll post that information on, in the community tab, all these resources, these mental health resources. But I encourage you, if you feel like you need extra support, then I encourage you to find a license, if you don't have health insurance, or it's a little wonky, I'll post in the community tab. There's a organization that I'm a part of that offers low cost therapy for those who can't afford it. Okay, so I'll post that in there as well. This is how I'm dealing with it. This is how I'm, just providing resources. What else? So yes. So if if you're a church going person, talk to your pastor. If if they are not Trump supporter, a lot of them are, but for the most part. But if you talk to your priest, if you're a religious person who goes to church, but talking it out is important, to not sitting there and stewing in all of your emotions, and it's causing all this stagnation and despair for you, and suffering. We don't have to suffer. Circumstances are difficult, but we don't need to suffer through it. We have to move through it. Okay. So I think that's that. That is that. Okay, spiritual awakening. What is it? I don't think I need to describe what a spiritual awakening is. You guys have been here long enough. Okay. I'm just pulling up the article of that. I do believe that there is a mass spiritual awakening. I always hear the age of Aquarius, and it's all rainbows and beauty and people singing. I'm thinking of the musical Hair for some reason. And it's beauty, but it's painful. We go through a lot when you are awakening spiritually. And there, we sometimes, like for me, I think my awakening started a long time ago. But what busted the door open was, like I talked about, me losing my brother was the big event. It started in like 2018. It really started to kick up. I was dabbling in it. I started dabbling in 2018 grazing, and then 2020 with my grandfather getting sick, and then suddenly we were in a pandemic. But my grandfather was prophetic as well. He was a pastor. He was a theologian. He had a master's degree in theology, and very powerful man, very spiritually powerful and healing. This man was. The thing about him, if you were sick and you would lay on his spot in the bed and you would feel better, you would heal. That's how, very spiritual. And he would speak prophecy. And I remember visiting him when he was in the hospital, and he said when the pandemic was happening, he was like, this isn't the end of the world. He said, this isn't how, this isn't it. But we're going to be okay, as he said. We're going to get through this. But that's just a side story, me remembering him. But what was I saying? A spiritual awakening. It started in 2020, and that was the most painful. I couldn't eat. I wasn't sleeping. I would shake. I would have so much anxiety. Um, my mood would swing. I felt like I had a rock in my stomach. That was, that was around when when he had passed, my grandfather. I never, but I knew that's what was happening because I would read about it and stuff. So yeah, they're growing pains. And what is happening is that in this situation in particular, now that I'm looking at it even further, the bigger picture is that we're all waking up. It's a mass awakening. It's a new earth that is coming. Okay. And it's not easy. It's not supposed to be. And, but I wanted to talk about, I found an article that I read a while ago, and I revisited it. Excuse me. I revisited it, Tuesday, actually. And it talks a lot about what is a spiritual awakening and what are the signs of a spiritual awakening. It's a really good article. And if you guys want it, you could hit my email up and I'll send you the article. It's a really good read. It's so informative, and straight into the point. And a lot of the things on the list I'm still experiencing, and because I'm still awakening. Because it's like levels. It happens, if you are someone who in my space and being psychic, it's like each circumstance or experience boosts you up higher, it feels like. But this article talks about what it means to have a spiritual awakening. The author of this article, I want to give her Ashley Malillo, her name is. It talks about the 19 stages. So I'm not going to go through each. I'm going to read the stages, okay, but I'm not going to go into the description. I'll go into the description of one that I think a lot of people are experiencing now, okay? So one, it says the hope for meaning. So the stages of spiritual awakening. Number one, the hope for meaning. Trying to find meaning in life. Number two, the catalyst, okay? The big hairy breakdown. So the catalyst, sometimes it's more small nuanced. Sometimes it's big events that make you have spiritual awakenings, okay? Losing a loved one, grief and loss, something, getting sick, near-death experiences, this situation here, those sort of things, okay? The strange feeling, the magnetic pull towards the spiritual. I experienced that. The bizarre interests, seemingly unrelated curiosities, the seeking outside and outsourcing of power. I started experiencing that when I started this after the election, and I was like, no, I need to speak. The loneliness and reclusiveness, I still experience that. And I noticed I would always say, in 2023 and 24, I would say it a lot, I'm reclusive. I've become reclusive. I wanted to be alone a lot. And even now, I still experience that. A lot less, actually. I was like fully reclusive last year, but that's when I'm still kind of going through. The pull towards nature, always. The spidey sense, the stall out when you sort of reach the stagnation. I've experienced that as well. The physical symptoms. I'm gonna read those, but I'm gonna get through this list. The am I crazy? Asking yourself. I asked myself that. I've stopped asking myself that, but when I started this up again, I was like, am I delusional or crazy? The misanthropic middle, the sharpening of dreams, glitches, and reality. Yeah. The let go. That's where I am now. The call to be in service to humanity, the leap of faith, the shift. Okay, and the shift is the last one, but I want to read the physical symptoms. The physical symptoms and emotional waves. It says, during a spiritual awakening, it's common to experience an increase in physical sensations and emotional upheavals. Common physical sensations: buzzing, feeling all the time, especially on my shoulder. Ringing in the ears, strange vibrations, sleep disturbances, fatigue, and tiredness. The strange vibrations is something I've experienced for so long. I feel like the floor is vibrating, and I always think it's an earthquake. It happens to me in the shower. It happens to me in the bed. I feel like someone's shaking my bed. And I'm deathly afraid of earthquakes. I think in my past life I died in an earthquake. I always think it's an earthquake because it always feels like the earth is moving underneath me. Okay, interesting. Light flickers and blurry eyes, yes. Exhaustion, heart palpitations, increased body odor, lightheadedness, hypersensitivity to light, sound, and sensory input. In general, electric shock sensations, unexplainable aches and pains, symptoms of Kundalini awakening, the clearing of blockages in the chakra system that allows new energy to move into the body. That has been happening to me. That has been happening to me as well. Common emotional, and guys, if you feel like this is not saying like you're just having a spiritual awakening, you're fine. Go to the doctor, please. Get checked out as well, okay? Common emotional upheaval signs: depression, new or increased anxiety, feelings of apathy, agitation or irritability, changing interest and losing interest in previous passions or career path, feelings of hopelessness. I have felt that lately, losing interest in previous passions in my career path. I'm starting to really shift, but this has been a long time coming. In the last year, I'm trying to shift what I'm doing in terms of my career. I'm not going to stop being a therapist, but I'm shifting what I'm doing. Feelings of hopelessness. Okay. All of these things can also indicate true medical conditions, like I said, so always be sure to check with your doctor if you are experiencing new and persistent symptoms. Okay. Spiritually speaking, these physical sensations occur as a byproduct of energetic upgrades to our DNA, solar flashes and flares from the sun. Yes. Contain energy transmissions that affect our physical body as well as our non-physical body. These spikes in solar energy directly catalyze our awakening on a cellular level. Okay. The Schumann resonance, a measurement of the Earth's heartbeat, reflects these energetic surges and shifts. You could look that up online. The Schumann resonance. But if you want this article, I will send it to you. It's a really good read. It's a really easy read. It's not boring. If you want, you could shoot me an email. My email is moonlightergy15@gmail.com. Okay, guys. It's also in my profile details. You could find my email, but if you want, I'll send you that article. It's really, really good. But yes, we are experiencing a spiritual awakening, a mass awakening. Some of you are questioning, why are we going through this? And, this moment of this period of seeming, darkness, because we need to. People ask, why didn't they stop it? Nothing would change. Nothing would ever change. This is deep, 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 deep corruption. Okay. And things need to change. And when I see comments about, oh, the world is laughing at us, they're shaking our heads and making fun of us because we're fools. And no, I disagree with that. I think overall the world feels compassion for us. We feel compassion for each other. And if they are, it's a problem because Look in your own backyard as well. The world at large needs to change. There's corruption everywhere. It's all connected. Not just America. And I get it because, you know, America, look at it. We're in the spotlight, you know, the center stage. We look at ourselves. That will change. There'll be, yes, there are big powers, you know, but there's more interconnectedness, I think, for the future. But we won't just be center stage, America, I think. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying it's like literally, and we will be, because it's America, you know, just like all the other big countries. But it'll be something different. And I think that's what the Biden administration really did differently. I think with Obama's administration, it was the first change. But he had a lot of blockages, I think he was the president that signed the most executive orders. I'm not sure though, but because of all the blockages he had a lot of, but you know, it changes it's like, if you look at history, it sort of changes each time, but this is a change that's happening. Nothing is the same. Nothing is what you think it seems, and absolutely nothing is the same. Okay? It may feel that way, but really it's not. Please expand your minds. I want you guys to. What else? Let me see. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about hi Shelly. I always talk about you. Her last video, go check it out. It's, you know, anything's possible at this point. And when my spirit guides are like, it's like we've been telling you guys, it's not anything you would imagine. And now I'm in the space of anything's possible. And I too am not a conspiracy theorist. I just don't subscribe to them. I say, oh, get that away from me. But you know, check out Shelly's latest upload. It's very interesting. It's very fascinating, and she's, you know, I can tell in her energy that she is very reality based too. From what she speaks about her experiences, when you had difficult life experiences, we know what reality is. I too have had difficult emotionally, and sometimes in the physical, difficult life experiences. We know what reality is. We know how to live in reality. Pretty hardcore. We know what real is, you know, and I know a lot of you know as well. So, but watch her video. It's what she talks about is quite fascinating, and it's something not quite what she said, but a thing I was told weeks and weeks ago, and I was like, that sounds I didn't discard it. What I was told about Kamala and how they refer to her, how they have been referring to her, to people in the White House and stuff. She talks about that, and so go watch her video. Okay. Anyway, what do I want to talk about next? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Justice is coming with Kamala. I need it, you know, sometimes perception. Do you know what? Let me ask if that's what she said. You know, when it looks like she said, it's okay, justice is coming. I need, like, do any lip readers, please confirm with me. I need a lip reader to say, like, yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said. Okay. And thank you for, someone commented, was like, just put your elbow on the table. So you don't, when you're using the pendulum. because I was using my arm up. I don't know why I was doing that. Sometimes my brain just does the strangest things, and it always does like the most difficult thing. I always do things the hard way. I'm just like, sometimes, I'm pragmatic but impractical sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, why didn't I just think of that? The simplest thing when it comes to big, complex things, I'm like, oh, we could just, but the simplest thing I miss, the details. Anyway, let me put my camera up a little. I'm in my robe, guys, so. Okay, you can stop moving. Can you guys see that? Okay, front to back is yes, left to right is no. That's how I have assigned it. Okay, guys, I know people do it differently. I've read different, that's fine. I think it's like the reader and, the psychic and how you assign the tool to move. Okay, spirit guides, are you with me? Okay, you could go back to neutral. I'll test it. My name is Rachel. Okay, no. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's why I hold it up. Okay, I don't know why I always say my name is Rachel. Maybe I secretly want my name to be Rachel. Okay, my name is Rachel. Okay, saying no. Okay, stop. Did Kamala Harris really say justice is coming? Did she really say justice is coming? Did she really say justice is coming? No, it says yes. It's swinging heavy too. Okay. All right, so there you have it. But please, any lip readers, calm it down. It's not that I don't believe she said that, but I'm just trying to be careful with everything. It's like that blue dress, gold dress thing, our perception. I'm not saying, I feel that she did say that and the pendulum just said yes, but, I like to collect as much data and proof as I can with things. It's just the Scorpio in me, okay? Okay. All right, so let's pull some cards. I'm gonna pull a card of the day. For the tarot card. For you guys, okay? Okay, good time. Card of the day. Oh, I hear the bells. Card of the day for you guys. Ten of Pentacles. Pentacles are about money, on the surface. Pentacles are about money on the surface. It's about security, okay? Stability, a deep sense of stability. And it's about community. It's about family. This card, it's about togetherness and harmony. Like achievement, success for the long term. Okay, being able to provide stability. Okay. It's also about generational wealth. It's about, those bells are going off. What time is it? So it's 12? Wow, 12 o'clock already. Yeah, okay. It's about having a deep sense of belonging. Okay. And this is what I think the message is for you guys. Now more than ever, we need to feel connected. Now more than ever, we need to find our people, like-minded people. And we need to hold a space of compassion and empathy, even for those that we disagree with, even for those that we dislike. I'm not saying you need to like them. The message is not saying you need to interact with them. But I think what it's saying is you need to focus on your people. Lean on your people. Find your people. Connect with your people. It's all about how you, it's like a reflection. Okay? It's really about who you spend your time with. Okay? What's in your community? Okay? How could you find, oh, excuse me. This card is a card of harmony and balance, okay? How could you find that for yourself? And I'm speaking, the Pentacles is about like material, but I'm speaking spiritually, I'm speaking emotionally, okay? Because I'm looking deeper beyond the card and its meaning. Connecting, it's about, don't come over here. Don't come near these cords, okay? Thank you. God, go over there. Sorry. Okay. He's yawning. It's about legacy. This card's about your ancestors. Maybe some of you need to connect with your ancestors and see what they went through, what they experienced. I'm sure what they experienced. I know for a fact my ancestors experienced a lot of hardships. And I do not come over here. Don't do it. Go, please. I don't want you to get tangled. I see you looking, and I know that's what know it's what your plans are. I'm not going to pet you now. Okay? I will in a few minutes, I promise. He's looking back at me like, and presenting his back to me. I'll give you one pet. Okay? That's all you're getting from me. And move from under the table, please. No. You gotta stop. Stop. I'm sorry, guys. But like I was... Look, he's gonna knock into my camera. You have to... Okay. This dog. Yeah, you could walk off. You know better. Sorry, guys. You getting me raw and real. Yes, like I was saying, I know for a fact my ancestors went through a lot. And so now I'm afforded the privilege to be sitting here in this life that I have. And so we have to look back on that. We have to look back on, we have to look back even of ancestrally what they went through, what they experienced. Okay. But this is about you. This is about going within, even building your own legacy and what you want to leave behind. Okay. This moment, like I said, is a perfect time to reflect, self-reflect, and think about what you want for your life. Despite, it's all about despite. Also, not necessarily just about despite, but despite what the circumstances are showing in our country, that's how we stand up. This is a very rooted energy. Okay. All right. So that's your card, guys. Card of the day. Deep. Very deep. This is a new deck, Path of Light. Okay. And when I touched it, I was like, whoa. When I pulled the when I was looking at the cards, I was like, there's a lot of energy in these cards. So I want to see. Let's see what the message is for you guys. Trust. Okay. Let's see what the message is. This is what the card looks like. It's someone on a boat. I like that golden. These cards are powerful. I could feel it. Let's see what the message is. I need my magnifying glass is way over there. Maybe I can see. Okay. I believe in life and the strength within me. Every moment guides me closer to the light, and I trust that everything on my path, even the challenges, is part of my journey toward growth and progress. That is your message. That's beautiful. Here it is. For once, it's not blurry. You guys can see that. Okay. Let's pull one more. It's telling me to pull one more, so I'll do that. Okay, one more here for this deck. Give me one more, please. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, don't, Scooter. Look, he did it anyway. If he knocked my camera over. Yeah, go the other way, please. Thank you. This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with his hijinks. He's an old man, guys. He's a senior dog. And is a, What are you doing over there? Okay. Firmly believe. Interesting. This is the message. Okay. Let's see. It says, I believe in myself and life and in the goodness of God. With this unwavering faith, I have the power to fulfill my dreams. The will of the Almighty guides me in my life, and my life is bathed in divine light. My heart is open to the universe, embracing all the blessings it has to offer. Listen, these cards are great. I love them. Such powerful messages. You can pause and read it if you want. Firmly believe, and that's what this is about. Your faith and what you believe in. Alright. Let me see what this deck being known. This deck is called the Unknown Crisis cards, and we are in a crisis, okay? And we are in a really uncertain, unknown place right at this moment. You know, I feel like I know what's on the other side, but things feel uncertain for a lot of people. People are confused, and people are, you know. So let's see what the message is with this card. With these cards, it's telling me to pull one. He's coming back to terrorize me. Scooter, I gave you much of what you need, but you're telling me you need more. So just give me a few minutes, okay? I'm almost done. I got you. Okay? All right. You okay? All right. Meeting of the Fates. At the crossroads of destiny, the important choices are made. Okay. Meeting of Fates. Important choices are made. Interesting. That's a message for someone. We are at a crossroads, it feels like. And we do, you know, have a choice. Do we go this way or that way? Do we continue to like be stagnant and let our emotions overrun us, or do we choose to have movement? Healing journey cards or healing energy cards. Okay. Release. All right. It says, I stopped fighting my fears and the hardships of life. I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. This is literally what I was just talking about. I work on what I have power over, and put into God's hands what I can't change. I trust that everything will work out for the best. And that's literally what I've been talking about. And this is the energy of release. Release it to the universe. Whatever you believe in. Let it go. Okay. And the last card. Here you come in, Scooter. got one. They got one. Okay. Let's see what it says. And let's see what the number is. Sixth house accountability. Does that say accountability? Sustainability. Okay, let's see. 44. 44. What number is this? I ain't gonna be able to see that. Let me get my magnifying glass. Bear with me, guys. Okay. I'm back. All right. 44. That says 41. 42, 43, 44. Okay. All right. 44. The sixth house. Sustainability. It said if your chart were a village or a village map, the sixth house would represent, hold on, I can't see. The sixth house would represent the central kitchen, gym, health clinic, and dog park. The sixth house speaks where you live and your daily habits, your work environment, your pets, your mind, body connection, and how you tend to your health. Action. Work smarter, not harder. The opposite of a dysfunctional situation is a sustainable ecosystem. Make your life sustainable. Look at the time, resources, love, care, and sweat you put into your life and assess whether you are putting as much in as you get out and whether you are receiving as much as you put in. The input and output have to match. Maybe not in every day, but certainly every week or month, or you cannot sustain the long haul. Self-care is important. The sixth house concerns your daily work, not necessarily your vocation or logical career or longed for career. If you are waiting tables to support your acting career, the sixth house speaks both of your day job and what you do toward that dream. But in some, let's pull the light over. But in some time and effort, put in some time and effort on your dreams to bring these two paths closer to being one and the same. Assess your work environment besides the money and professional trajectory. Most jobs often offer an opportunity to bump souls with others. A stage to work through karma and round out our personalities. Camaraderie can help to create a healthy work environment. Attitude makes all the difference. That is the truth. Our attitude. Watch where you put your mind. Nervousness can turn into chronic anxiety, which taxes our health. Give your mental hamsters something worthy to work on and keep them from merely spinning. Look at your daily habits and invest in good self-care. Make healthy food delicious and healthy activity. Scooter, you're messing my vibe up here. Please go over. Thank you. Make healthy food delicious and healthy activity enjoyable. Play with the dog. Yeah, I will do that. Or talk to wild birds To talk to wild bird. Times with animals can restore the spirit as well as be great exercise. Challenge. Worry can give you the illusion that you are taking care of business, but it does not further your goals. Can I repeat that? Worry can give you the illusion that you are taking care of business, but it does not further your goals. And the gift is you can create a beautiful and sustainable ecosystem out of your life as you pursue a delicious, healthy work-life balance. Okay. All right. So that was your message. That was your message, guys. Okay. I get a lot of readings. I do personal readings. I get a lot of requests for self-care readings because people are wondering how to take care of yourselves. Okay. And it's so important, especially, it's always important, especially in times of crisis, especially when circumstances are difficult. We can't get bogged down or blinded to what we need to do moving forward. Okay. I said okay. I like when you guys point that out. It's funny. So that's it. Those are your messages. This is our Let's Chat. I will put the resources over. Scooter, give me 10 seconds, please. Please give me 10 seconds. And that's all I got. I will upload tomorrow. The story continues. If you guys want a personal reading, you can request. I will put the link down in the description in the comments. Okay. That's all I got. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to breathe, and bye-bye.